And we're live. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. You look beautiful today, Jess.
Oh, thank you so much. I heart everyone so much. That's why my hands are stuck in a perpetual heart
Amazing.
image.
It's crazy. I'm
So,
enjoying-
Neil, also, you look very nice today. I like what you've done with your hair.
Oh yeah, thank you. I've been growing them out for the past week.
Very
Also,
nice. Yeah,
I
I'm,
also
I'm impressed.
practiced the French Canadian accent quite a bit.
I wish my hair grew that fast, Neil. So yeah, as many of you may notice, we are back with more Misscliks presents The God That Crawls. Last episode, we had Neil playing the roles of Winifred and Francis, but this episode we will have Jen, Live in Pink SC2, joining us for those. That's no big deal, especially because we played for about an hour and we just made it into the dungeon under the church. So to
And
give you
right
all,
before I got to play, Neil decided to kill my second
yes, you
character.
decided to kill off your second character.
I'm
So
blaming
spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen the last episode, someone's already died, which is as intended.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So let me give you a quick summary of what happened last time. We rolled up characters because character creation. It was supposed to take us about an hour. We created 2 characters each because I knew that people had a high death rate in this game. So, and to make sure that we bought all of our equipment, it did take us a little bit longer. And then we got started about halfway through the second part of the session. We heard from a carpenter slash digger, excavator, who said that he had excavated the side of a hill that a church was built on top of and found a door, and that the priest of the church had paid surprisingly well for this. And so the party of rogues, as we have them, who do we have? We have Winifred and Francis, both fighters. Bernard, a specialist, and Millicent, an elf. We have Clement the cleric and Wendy the halfling, and then we have Humphrey the fighter and Mabel the specialist. The party set off to the town, thinking that they could get some cheap loot out from under this secret door hidden underneath this church. They made it to the town. Millicent the elf snuck over to the door and tried to take a look at it, but she got interrupted by a guy from the town who invited her to come back. A sheep herder, I think, shepherd is what they are called. Come here, Cusco. That's my cat. And then Humphrey and Mabel decided that they were just really mad about everybody down in the town, and they went running off into the town trying to fight everyone. So while they created a very loud and very effective distraction by killing a couple villagers and nearly getting killed themselves, both of them are very wounded, actually. Who is it? Mabel, I think, is very seriously wounded. 1 hit point. Yeah, she's nearly dead. Anyway, while those 2 created a distraction in the center of town, Wendy, Francis, Clement, and Bernard and Winifred all snuck into the crypt. They walked up to the door, opened it by opening this bar that was keeping it closed, ignoring the sign on the front that said "Entrance Forbidden" by authority of the Royal Exchequer. They do not care about the Royal Exchequer's considerations of doors. They entered and they found a 30-foot by 30-foot room that has like some slime on the floor, and there was this weird opening in the back wall where there's just like a little like plaster seal that had been broken open and had a bone arm hanging out of it with like the end of it burned off with like acid or something like that. Anyway, they went and they dug around in there and they found a scroll, a magical scroll hidden back behind this, and it was underneath a stamp on the wall that was like an X with a P written over top of the X. So as they investigated that, Winifred heard a grinding sound from behind her. She turned around and she saw a rock sliding out of the ceiling. She ran to try and support the rock with her man catcher, and the rock fell, crushing the man catcher, crushing Winifred, and then the entire rest of the ceiling collapsed in, locking Bernard, Clement, Francis, and Wendy inside.
Ooh.
Outside in the town remain Humphrey and Mabel, both quite wounded and not too kindly looked upon by the villagers, and Millicent, the elf, who was running off in pursuit of this shepherd as Humphrey and Mabel wrought havoc in the center of town. So, with that being the beginning of our session, let's go outside of town. Let's start outside. Or outside, not outside of town, but let's start outside of the dungeon. Let's find out what Humphrey, Mabel, and Millicent are up to. So Humphrey and Mabel, you've both been seriously wounded, Jess.
Well, it is but a flesh wound.
That's true, I guess. Technically, you're not missing anything of your body. Are you trying to like bind your wounds at all? Have you sat down on the stoop? Are you just like chasing villagers madly with your weaponry?
No, we're having a bit of a sit down while we tend to our wounds.
Okay. Millicent, what are you doing? You were running off in pursuit of the shepherd last time, right? But now that you see Humphrey and Mabel have calmed down a little bit, what's the plan?
I think I want to be associated with those people, so I think now that they've done their duty, I'll just wander over to the door, since I know that's where the party was going.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Let me look at your characters. Oh, you don't have skills on your elf sheet, Trump. So remember, Trump, that you have a 2 in 6 search as an elf. Okay, so Millicent, you walk over towards the side of the hill, and immediately as you approach this channel that was carved in, you immediately notice there's something wrong, because all of the rock and debris that was sort of like clinging to the sides of this channel that's been carved into the hill has all fallen in, and the door is half covered. You can even see the door there. It's sort of half buried up. So what do you do?
Oh no! I start using my hands to move the rocks.
Okay. Wow, I wonder if there's some kind of a roll I can have you make for that.
I myself am aware that it won't be very effective, but that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Okay, yeah, I think go ahead and give me just roll a strength check for me, please. You're just trying to roll under your strength. That's all. Hey, you succeed. Okay, yeah. You quickly begin pulling rocks up and shoving them aside. It's going to take you a full turn, so you're doing that for the next 10 minutes. Humphrey and Mabel, the both of you are sitting down, tending your wound, just catching a breather. I guess, like, you don't see any villagers. They've all vanished. Are you just going to sit down and relax for the next 10 minutes or so? You winded yourself pretty seriously with that battle. Or are you going to try and move somewhere else before taking a rest?
We can have a bit of a sit down, you know.
Okay. Cool. So Humphrey and Mabel, you're going to sit down, in the center of town, maybe on the steps of this windmill. That's the windmill is just turning peacefully. We're going to take us a breather. Yeah, and Mabel's got like some blood just dripping down her arm pretty steadily. She's, I guess, trying to tie it off or something. And that's the peaceful state of affairs outside, above the surface. However, within the crypt, we have Bernard the specialist, Clement the cleric, Francis the fighter, and Wendy the halfling. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have now discovered that the entryway behind you has collapsed. So the room that you're in is 30 feet by 30 feet. And there are 2 hallways, one on the left and one on the right, that stretch off into the darkness. There's one behind you, which is where you came in from. All of these hallways are 10 feet wide. Who had light? I forget who had light.
That sounds like the perfect time.
Clement has a lantern.
Here.
Oh yeah, no. We need to do a little bit of adjusting with our Zoom calls. So let's take that break, and then we'll come right back for you soon.
Yes, we also thank you guys all so much for watching. I apologize that we're having a problem with Zoom, but we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Now is the perfect time to consider following or subscribing to the Misscliks channel.
Clearly, for the quality of the.
Yes, because
Yeah.
we have excellent production quality. And anyway, we will see you guys in a few minutes. Thanks, guys.
We'll be quick.
Bye. And we're back. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, look, our overlays are messed up. Let me fix that.
Yes. While you are taking a look at our overlays, let's hear what's going on with the people inside of the dungeon. So, yes, who's here? We've got Bernard the Specialist, Clement the Cleric, Francis the Fighter, good one, and Wendy the Halfling. So the four of you are in here, and I was just asking, which of you had light out? Do you remember from last time, Trump?
Clement.
Clement the Cleric had some light out.
Clement the Cleric has a lantern.
You're using a lantern, which gives you, there's a rule for this. I think it's 30 feet of light. Let's take a look. There's a vision and light section. So cleric spells, magic user spells. I don't need that. I don't need property and finance. Equipment lists. Nope, it's not going to be in there. So just in case you're all unaware, this is an entirely new rule set that I have not played with before. It's called Lamentations of the Flame Princess. You can find it for free online, like legitimately for free. The book that you get for free doesn't have any art in it. And it's just a retro clone of the original first edition Dungeons & Dragons, updated slightly. So, light and vision, there we are. Okay. Torches and lanterns emit light in a 30-foot radius. Candles emit light in a 10-foot radius. Okay, so I'm going to drag a token from you guys, Clement the Cleric. Cool. And I'm going to assign a 30-foot aura. That's beautiful. And I'm going to put you all down in the dungeon. Here you are. Okay, so
Don't want to go in the dungeon.
Yeah. Clement, Bernard, Francis, and Wendy, you're all in the dungeon. You're inside this small 30-foot square room. The corridor back towards the entrance has collapsed. It's ruined. There's just rubble and rock, like walling off that exit. There are two other corridors, one to the right, one to the left. You did just hear this strange groaning sound from deep within the earth. What do you all think about that?
Before we get into that, could you remind me what Bernard found?
You found a scroll.
Ah, yes.
Do you remember what kind of scroll it was?
I do not.
Excellent. Neither do I. So I'm going to roll again, and we're going to tell you what kind of scroll you got. Let's see. Oh. I wonder if it's explicitly a magic user scroll. Let me look at the treasure caches. It's not explicitly a magic user scroll.
I do remember it was a magic user scroll, but that probably
was.
didn't.
Oh, no, wait. I didn't roll the right values. I need to roll because you might have found a lot of scrolls. Hang on. So I'm going to roll 2d6. So let's see.
Oh boy.
I have rolled a 4. So you find, a bunch. You find 5 scrolls total.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll take
Rich.
5 more, please.
Yeah. So let me see. Writing a scroll, spell scrolls. Scrolls are magical items. The scrolls are written in the language of the writer. So like the magical language of the writer. So, no. So no read magic spell is necessary for clerical scrolls.
That's too
But
bad.
read magic is necessary for magic user scrolls. So, fortunately, these are all clerical scrolls.
Ha!
So you found 5 scrolls. Let's see what they are. Cleric spells. I'm rolling a d10, and I got a 3, and then a 7, and then a 2. So, all right, Trump, here are the scrolls that you have found, cleric scrolls. You found a scroll of command, and I'm going to have to ask you to put these in your inventory. A scroll of cure light wounds, and a scroll of purify food and drink. Those are all first level scrolls. And in addition, oops, that's the wrong dice. I'm going to roll 1d8. And I got an 8. And I got a 5. So the other 2 scrolls that you found are both second level scrolls. You found a scroll of heroism and a scroll of silence 15-foot radius.
What a great bounty.
Yeah, so you have found all of these items, and they all count as one. Like, you found effectively 5 scrolls, so they count as one inventory item. But make sure you update your encumbrance in case you added enough extra stuff from adding this one extra entry that is scrolls. Let me just see what the value is on scrolls. If there's an obvious value here. Writing scrolls, 50 silver pieces per day. Wait. Protection scrolls, 50 silver pieces per day. And then, it takes you times 2d6 days. Wow, so these are potentially very expensive. So it's a good time to remind ourselves that you get experience points for retrieving treasure primarily. So let's see, recovering treasure. All valuable objects recovered from uncivilized or abandoned areas and money hoarded by creatures who have no actual use of it. That is the value of these scrolls. So if you can get these scrolls back to a safe location, you will get treasure, or you'll get experience for recovering them. So there you go.
But if we use them,
If you use them, they're consumed.
and no XP.
Let's see. I wonder if scrolls count as valuable objects. To me, they seem pretty valuable.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go for it. I say yes.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So, yeah, what do you guys want to do now that you have these scrolls?
How do my dogs react to the ground shaking?
So they're both sort of scrabbling at the collapsed rubble and whimpering and whining.
Like around the body of Winifred.
Well, Winifred's body is completely just way back within this collapsed rubble.
Okay. And did I
Completely
see
buried.
that? Do I know that he's dead?
Oh, yes.
And it just happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moments ago.
Oh my God, Winifred, no!
Yeah.
Dogs, don't go for him. Stand back.
Let's see. Hang on. I want to put together a track.
So much emotion. I feel so attached to Winifred. It's like he's been with me all my life.
Clement is very interested in these scrolls and is hovering over Bernard's shoulder, trying to look at them, and probably like getting his beard all in Bernard's face.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Wendy looks over her shoulder when she hears the groaning noise, and she says, "Oh no!" And she's gonna try and hide to the best of her ability.
Nice. All right.
Guys, what are you doing standing there? It's not time to look at stupid paper. My God, take out your weapons and run.
So, Wendy, you're trying to hide, but like, what are you trying to hide behind? Are you trying to like go into the darkness and hide in there?
Yeah, if there's a dark corner, Wendy wants to sidle into it.
So in this room, there are no dark corners, but you could
Okay.
go into the hallways from where Clement is standing in the middle of the room. You just have to go about 30 or 40 feet away from Clement into one of these corridors in order to get into the darkness. And then you could probably hide in there.
Yeah, she doesn't want to do that. So she's just gonna back herself into a corner of the room and keep an eye on both hallways, entrances.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to say searching for the scrolls and then figuring out what they were. Let's see, that's going to take... Sure. So let's see.
Sure. While you figure them out, Bernard just hands the scrolls over to Clement. This looks like a dire spot we're in. Hopefully you can find some use out of this, buddy.
And he kind of furrows his brow at you and says, thank you, my young man. This is very interesting. I have never seen any," and he just kind of trails off as he starts reading over them.
Yeah, they're ancient Catholic scrolls, you can tell. They're written in Latin, which is a language that as a priest you understand and have read and written in before. And these are powerful spells. You can cast them, incidentally. So let's see, spell scrolls, casting spells. Casting a spell from a scroll erases it from the scroll. You must hold the scroll with both hands in order to read or use it. And if it's used in combat, it takes the entire action of the caster to use. All spells cast from scrolls use the level of the reader, not the writer, to determine the effects of the spells. So there's nothing specific that says that you can't cast a second level spell from a scroll. So yeah, there you go. You can cast all of these.
And they were, sorry to reiterate, but Cure Light Wounds, Heroism, Silence, blank blank.
Bernard, you put them in your inventory. Command, Cure Light Wounds, Purify Food and Drink, Heroism. And
There we go.
Yep.
And now they are in my inventory.
Yeah. So Wendy, did you want to go running off into the darkness and hide?
No. She just wants to put her back in the corner.
Cool.
And she draws her short bow.
Okay. So you're backing into a corner. Are you facing, like, if you came out of that entry hallway, are you facing the hallway on the left or the hallway on the right?
Looking at this little map that Neil drew,
Yeah.
Wendy would be in this corner here.
Got it. Okay, so you're in that upper right corner looking over in that left-hand hallway side. Cool. I can deal with that. Sounds good.
Uh-oh. I don't want to be dealt with.
That's not what you wanted. Okay, so that's... There's lots for me to track. There's lots of secret fun in this game. Okay. Yeah, so what's the plan? You guys are just hanging out. You found these scrolls. What are you going to do? Wendy went and like backed her way into that corner. What are the rest of you doing?
Wow, that is a really good invitation, Jen.
I have to do my best at looking still and holding up a heart. Sorry, I had an idea. Okay, I'm done. So where's the source coming from and like report to us?
Where's the what?
Where's the source of the sound coming from? Like
Oh, you
the
just
crowd?
heard a big groaning and rumbling coming from deep in the earth, basically.
So there's
Well,
no particular direction.
it just echoes, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll look
It's
at
just
the rock slide
Okay.
and kind of make a judgment on how long it looks like, or if it's even possible to dig ourselves out.
Do you have the architecture skill?
I do not.
Okay, roll 1d6.
You die.
I somehow thought it would be a good idea to.
Where do I see my skills? Is it normal that I have none?
Yes. It is normal that you have none. Okay, 4. So it's going to take you about 10 minutes to evaluate this thing. So what are the rest of you doing during the 10 minutes that Bernard is going to take a look at this rock slide?
Oh, when you said it's normal to not have skills, so that means the elf just has its basic skills, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Like everybody has the skill. It's just you all have it at a 1 in 6 chance. Only specialists get skills basically.
Right. Okay.
That's
I
what
see.
makes them special.
Well, I mean, I don't think we should just stand there and look at it and try to evaluate it. Either we try to remove the rocks right away, or we move on into this dungeon or whatever it is.
You idiot! Absolutely not. That's what got your friend killed. We need to make sure this is safe to remove first.
By
before
all means,
moving it.
you go ahead, but I'm gonna go that way with this little lady.
Wouldn't it
Whoa,
be more prudent to make sure that our muscle gets in here?
What do you mean by our muscle?
Those two rowdy humans.
I'm the muscle here, buddy. I don't know if his character was cocky, I just decided he was.
Sure. I
Oh,
can
yes,
do that.
now.
Well, I guess I am now, since my buddy, what's his face? Winifred is dead. I'm the big man now. I'm 17, I got 2 dogs, I'm ready to go.
Francis is confirmed DMX. I kid. Wendy says, now, let's not be hasty. I mean, Bernard is right. We've lost half of our group now.
Alright, then I will start moving a little rock here and there while he...
Did you not listen to me? I back away.
You're trying to evaluate it to make sure it's safe, and you're mad
And I
that
noticed
she's
this
trying to move it.
moron goes and starts moving the rock.
Alright, fine. Then I'm gonna go look out the other way, because I'm just
Okay.
gonna stand there while you think.
It's more like it.
All right, you're looking off to the right.
I'm like peeking down to see what I'm seeing in the hallway.
Okay. Let's see if I can describe for you what you see down here. Yeah, within the light, you can just see the hallway stretching out probably 20 feet downwards. Not moving down in the depths, but it's a carved stone hallway that advances for 20 feet before the light finally dims and fades out. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, that's what you see. It looks like maybe just at the very, very edge of the light there might be a door on the right-hand side of the wall, but that's
I see a
all you can.
door.
There is
You
this
say I-
there is this sticky substance lining the floor. There's just a very thin trail of it in the middle of the hallway.
Let me see. Do I have any type of stick or something?
We've
We
already
did
tried
have a
like
bar.
poking sticks, and there's an iron bar that you guys grabbed. You haven't determined that this slime is hazardous or acidic or dangerous
Yeah.
or anything. It doesn't smell bad. It's not flammable. It's just slime on the floor.
Yeah. Can I still poke it with a stick and see if it reacts?
Yeah, totally.
I poke it with a stick and see if it reacts.
Yeah, you poke it with a stick, nothing happens.
Alright, I put some on my finger and then I smell it.
What does it smell like? It smells like really, really green bananas. And it also, like, it definitely stinks. It's not a pleasant scent.
Was
Is it
this
like-
the hallway to the west or east?
This is the hallway that's leading to the east.
Is it like if I do this, does it like kind of? It's like slimy.
Sorry, you're like trying to feel it with your fingers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sticky. It's like a mucus or something.
Do I know any creature that could produce that?
No.
Interesting. And if I look at the ceiling and the walls, there's no place that seems to be the source of it. It just seems to be a bit spread out.
Yeah, it's not coming from the ceiling or anything. It's not oozing out of the walls. It's not. It doesn't even seem like it's oozing out of the floor.
Okay, so it's green.
Yes.
So I
Is
say,
this
I see a door over here alongside green sticky goo that smells kind of weird, but doesn't. I should probably taste it. Should I taste it, guys?
Yeah.
I
definitely.
tried to get the dogs to do that, but no one listens to me. Says
well?
Wendy.
These call for desperate times. I know you love your dogs, but for science, you may want to have
Keep
them taste it.
concentrating on your thing now. We don't have any time to waste here.
As I'm looking around, does this stuff look? Is this more cavey or more man-made structure?
It's definitely man-made. It looks well. Clement would know. Clement, you know, it looks more like a crypt or a mausoleum than anything else.
Yeah, Clement will start talking about catacombs at length until somebody shuts him up.
Nice. What kind of things does Clement say about catacombs?
He says, well, you know, centuries ago, there were times when people didn't want to just bury their dead in the earth, but instead constructed elaborate underground structures for the burial of the dead, typically the higher class. And he just kind of drones on and on.
I
That
like
means
Clement's groaning.
more scrolls and loot like this.
Yeah,
What
Yes,
I
of
heard.
course.
I bet there's some this way. Hey, bring some light over here. I see a door.
Clement picks up the lantern and after realizing that nobody's listening to him anymore, once they heard maybe there was loot, he picks up the lantern and shuffles off down the hallway.
Yeah, since that light is gone, I'm taking out a torch and lighting that, and just.
Oh, okay, so you're staying there in the
Yeah.
middle of the room, and Clement's heading on. So let's see. I can
And
actually just.
Wendy will
Pull
stay
out.
with Bernard.
I'm actually going to just pull out individual character
We're
tokens
doing
onto my
that
special
party
map here.
splitting deluxe edition.
We are now split into 4 parties. Fantastic.
So let's see. Bernard, you've got a torch out.
Yes.
Okay, that's another 30 feet of light. So you're staying in the middle of that room. Okay, and who
Wendy,
was it?
make sure
Francis-
nothing sneaks
Francis,
up on me
you were
from that
down-
left side.
You were down
Thanks.
that way. And Wendy, you were in the corner. Okay, now I've got the 4 of you all here on this map. Now, hang on, let's see.
We're not seeing this map, by the way. I don't know if you intend
No, no, you're not.
to. Okay, great.
Okay. So, yeah, what happens? So, this map is super tiny. Actually, hang on. There's one more tracking element that I want to add onto my map here, which is just like a tracking of turns, because your torch and your lantern, they each only last a certain number of turns. So I think the torch or the lantern is 24 turns, and then the torch, we're gonna have to double check. Light and vision. Lanterns use flasks of oil and they burn for 24 turns. Torches burn for 6 turns. So I need
Remind
both
me
of
how
you
long
to
a
be.
turn is.
It's 10 minutes. So I need both of you to be tracking how long that is, and I will tell you when like certain amounts of turns have passed. So let me just draw those trackers up here. So my turn tracker, I'm going to have that be bright purple. Okay. So that's 3, 6. That's 12. That's 18. That's 24. And then I'll do hours. And hours will be blue. Yep. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now I've got 24 hours here. Great. Okay, super good. And I'm tracking how far we are into our current turn. I'm tracking how far we are through turns. And then I'm also tracking how far we are in hours. Okay, so we're in hour number 1, turn number 1, and it's been like 5 minutes. So let's see. Is that right?
Speaking of taking out a torch and lighting it, I correct my statement and I talked to Frenoy. Frenoy, you brought some torches, right? Francis. Rather.
Francis. It was like Frenoy.
Torches? Me?
Yes.
No.
Let's see. Wendy, you brought some torches, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
yes. I need. Since they took the lantern, I'm going to need you to light one.
What's wrong with yours?
That they don't exist.
She just kind of stares at you, sighs, and pulls out
I
a
knew
torch
that
and lights
you guys
it.
had it handled.
Yeah. She
So
likes
this
a
is-
torch.
Bernard, you don't have torches.
Right.
Okay. So you do not have this aura around you, but instead Wendy has this aura around her.
Yes.
Okay. Wendy pulls out a torch. You've got a torch in one of your hands, Wendy, so be aware of that. Okay.
Can I
Yes.
hand it to Bernard? I assume my short bow requires 2 hands.
It does. You can hand it to Bernard if you'd like.
Is there a way to, like, put it on the ground without, well,
You could probably like shove it into the crack in some stone or
Yeah,
something
I'll
like
just do
that,
that.
and try
Oh,
to do that.
we
Okay.
have a convenient hole in the wall.
True. You could just sort of stick it out of the hole in the wall.
fantastic.
You could even like wrap that skeletal arm around it so that it looks like it's holding it or something like that.
Very
Wendy's
good.
not touching that thing.
Great. So that's what you guys are trying to do. So let's see. Oh gosh, who are these people down here? Francis and Clement, you are both a couple of feet down the right hand hallway, and you see a set of stairs that lead. Let's see. I'm just double checking where everything is connected here. Oh, I need to disable flux because it's changing all the colors on this map for me. Okay, stop that. That's much better. Yes. Now I can see where these all hook up. Yeah, this staircase leads up, but you can also see now that the lantern is closer, now that Clement's lantern is closer, you can see that the hallway continues for another 30 feet, and that 20 feet ahead on the right, there's also a set of stairs leading down, and very far at the very end of the hallway, you can see that the light is just hitting the foot of another set of staircases leading up.
Staircases!
You call back staircases?
Yeah.
Okay, you look behind you, Francis, and you call out staircase, and then the words die in your mouth as you just see, stepping into the light of the torch inside of the room, in the hallway, far at the end, a huge lumbering mass. It just looks like this viscous, ropey flesh ooze that has heads and mouths all over it, and it sees all of you, and you hear this shuddering groan emanate from it. Its skin is glistening, and as it slowly slides along the floor, you can see that it's oozing this greenish substance that it's slicking across the surface of the floor as it oozes its way into the room. Bernard, it's about 10 feet away from you. So,
Don't
hang
need to come
on.
over here.
Hang on. We need to see this. So, yeah, I want everybody to roll 1d6.
Was it coming from the direction they went in or from the other one?
No, it's coming from the west.
Wendy, I thought you were keeping an eye out for this.
Wendy, you both just saw it just now also.
I'm very short. Give me a break.
Okay.
Am I rolling per character?
Yes, please. Let's see. Oh, nice. Okay. Got it. That's not too bad then. So let's see. Yep, I'm checking the rules on surprise. Most normal characters are surprised on a roll of 1 to 2. I'd like to look at the elf really quick because you might, you are surprised less often than other races, 1 in 6 chance. So, wow, none of you are surprised when you see this creature. Now, this creature is not surprised.
Right.
Jen,
Sorry.
you are surprised.
Ah!
You see this creature sliming its way into the light of the torch, and you're just gobsmacked. So you cannot act this round. The rest of
what
you,
about
however,
my dogs?
roll 1d2, 1d6 for each of them.
Am I impersonating Neil properly now?
Yes, that's good. They are both surprised.
So we're all like, woo.
Yep.
Hashtag blame Neil.
Yeah. Okay, good. So reactions. Yes, now I have to, no, we know the reaction. We need to check morale, actually. I think it's, yes. Roll 2d6 if the roll is equal to or less than the morale score. Okay, it got a 7, so that is equal to or less than this creature's morale score. This creature is willing to fight. So, good. Let's see. I think we need initiative. So, would each of you please roll that for me? Let's see who's down here. Bernard, Clement. Yeah, Bernard, Clement, Francis, and Wendy. I'm going to add you all here. Bernard.
Is that a dex roll or?
Nope, it's just a 1d6.
Okay.
Clement, Francis.
It says my dex is counting for agility or for initiative. Is that a thing?
So there's only 6 results, right? 6 to 1. So higher dexterity bonuses act first within that set of results.
Okay.
So. Okay, so Wendy got a 2. Is that Clement who got the 2? Trump?
Wendy has a 2.
Oh,
Clement has a
got the
1.
Yep. And then Trump is Bernard, so he's the 2. And Francis got a 5, but unfortunately Francis is surprised. Let's see what the god that crawls got. 2. Not bad. Okay. Bernard and Wendy, what are your initiatives?
Mine is 2.
Not initiatives, sorry, your dexterity bonuses.
16, which is a result of +2.
Yeah, that's quite high. Wendy, what's yours?
It's +1.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so Francis would go first, but Francis is stunned, just shock stunned. Bernard, you get to go next. Now, let's take a look really quick at movement. Make sure that we have that. Movement encumbrance. How many points of encumbrance do you have, Bernard?
1.
1. You are unencumbered, so per round in combat, you can move 40 feet.
All right, I kind of gauge, 1, how big is it? 2, how fast do I see it moving?
You see it moving. You could probably outrun it if you were running. It's not going crazy fast, but it's 10 feet by 10 feet. It's this large hulking mass. It's sort of shapeless, but it's kind of got heads poking out all over it and mouths and eyeballs, and it's just dripping this slime. It's sort of extruding portions of itself slowly to slide itself forwards. It's got pseudopods that it's pulling off of its body.
Is this main room we're in about 15 by 15?
30 by 30.
Oh, 30 by 30. Okay.
Yeah, each square there is 30 feet.
Well, I did not sign up to fight these things. We are going to run the other direction as I go that way. I grab the torch
And
Other
then
than
still stunned, I go, my way?
yes, your way. I grabbed the torch out of the
I
hand
was
on the way.
Yeah,
right.
you grab the torch out of the hand and you run. You're just running 40 feet down that hallway?
Yeah. Turn-based, I'm guessing that it's not going to leave them in darkness. They're supposed to be running with me, right?
Well, yeah, we're gonna move in turn-based order here, but
It's not like they lose the light because I acted first, right?
technically yes, but there's enough light around here that actually it's
Okay.
not that big of a concern.
Great.
Okay, cool. So Bernard, that's your turn. Wendy, Bernard just went running past you with the torch. This monstrous beast is bursting forth out of this hallway. What do you do?
I say, "You little shit," and I book it after him.
Nice. So what's your encumbrance, Wendy?
My encumbrance is 1.
I don't see you disagreeing. Echoes from the
So
hall.
you also move 40 feet. 2, 3, 4. Good. You also end up right next to this staircase that's going up. The god that crawls slides forwards, slithering its way into the room slowly. It crosses the entire 30-foot distance of the room, and now it is standing in the opening that you just ran down. The closest person to it